So, Michael, you've done a great job on your smoking so far, and now I really think it's time that we started to address your drinking.
Oh, right. Well, you're a wowser.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I mean, you know, what benefit do you get out of that?
Oh, well, I'm not here for it to benefit me, but I think, you know, it's a real concern.
You're getting your paycheck.
Oh, well, your doctor said that he's very concerned about your drinking, and that was one of the reasons he wanted you to come here in addition to your smoking, and I really, you know, I'd like to talk to you about that.
Well, I don't see any point at all in looking at that. I mean, that's my part. You know, I don't see a problem with it. So it's going to be an awful dull session.
Well, I really think it's important for us to talk about it. You know, you really ought to, because he said that there's a real problem with your liver function test.
Well, it's my liver, isn't it? I mean, you know, I don't think there's any problem at the moment. I'm not pissing blood or anything, so I don't see why.
But you know what's going to happen if you don't quit drinking, don't you?
What?
Well, you're going to have some really serious long-term problems, and then who knows what might happen.
Well, how long is a life, you know? I mean, why would you bother to... I mean, no way in God's earth. No, not interested.
Well, what about all the money it's costing you? It must be pretty expensive for you. I'm sure you'd have a better life if you weren't drinking.
Oh, get by enough. I get enough money. Plus there's always the sly grog shops and whatever, so I mean, you know, it doesn't have to cost a lot. Always drink OPs anyway.
But you're drinking quite a lot, Michael.
Well, that's my concern. Anyway, how do you define it? Why would you drink?
Oh, well, a little.
Well, what do you call a little?
Well, we're here to talk about you, Michael.
Well, no, come on, fair cop. I mean, you know, if you're about to berate me and beat me over the head with a big stick because you think that I have a problem, let's put the boot on the other foot.
Well, actually, I think...
Tell me about your thing.
Actually, it's your doctor that really thinks that you have a drinking problem, and that's
well,
why
all doctors think that. All doctors think that.
Well, they've had a lot of training.
They're trained to think that.
Well, they're
conditioned to think that.
They're trained to pick up problems, you know, in people's health, and they're really only there to help, and so am I.
Yeah, well, for someone who's trying to help you, I wouldn't say you're being entirely helpful about the whole thing.
We haven't really got started. You haven't really given me much of a chance. You know, I'd really like to talk to you about, you know, ways that you could start cutting down at least.
Well, who wants to cut down? I mean, this is the thing. I mean, why would I want to cut down? I mean, you may as well wrap me up in cotton wool and you know, feed me through a straw. You know, I mean, you've got to have some sort of life. You know, I mean, I certainly don't think that there's any issues that we should discuss at all.
Well, what about drink driving? I mean, you must be drink driving. You know, that's illegal.
Never drink driving until you're caught.
Oh, Michael.
No way, God's earth. Have you ever drunk drived?
Well, as I said, I think we're really here to talk about you, and you know, I know the amount you're drinking, and so you must be drink driving.
No, I don't. No. I mean, you sort of you go to those blooming breatho things in the corner of the pub and that sort of thing. If they say you're right to drive, you're right to drive. I haven't had a crash.
Have you ever tried Alcoholics Anonymous? That would be a good option.
Ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. That's that bloody 12-step crap.
Well,
no,
really
I saw a movie about that.
It works very well for some people.
Yeah, it works very well for some people who are bloody wowsers and don't particularly want to have a life, you know.
What about a detox unit or something like that?
Piss off. No bloody way, no. No, sit there with a bunch of other druggies and blooming talk about how my mother didn't bloody leave me on the tip for long enough. I mean, come on. What bloody benefit's that going to do?